Hi guys, we've got Dale Gregg for FightTalk.net, joined by former world champion, the legend that is Barry Mcguigan, the Lone Cyclone. How you doing?
I'm fine, Dale, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks, good. So today you've announced Taylor's biggest fight to date by far at the biggest venue. How did that come about? Was Soto our first choice opponent, or was that someone that you drew from a short list?
No, we had him in mind. We would have preferred Anthony Yigit, but he decided to go another route. I'm being euphemistic when I say that. And we tried Ricky. Ricky wants to stay at lightweight a few times. So great respect for Ricky Burns, and obviously great fighter. But he's going to remain for the remainder of his career at lightweight, and we respect that. And Soto was always somebody that was looming in the distance, and we thought was a great fight. Because of his style, because of the way he fights, he's a banger, he's a combination puncher, he's a three-weight division world champion, he was the interim champion at featherweight, WBC super featherweight and WBC lightweight champion. He's 37 years old, but he's unmarked. He's only had out of 78 professional fights, he's had a handful of defeats, and he was stopped only on one occasion by the really heavy-handed Lucas Matisse. So it's a great test. He's a live fighter. He's coming here to win. You know the way he talks. He's not a bombastic or big mouth. He just turns up and does the business, and that's what I like about him. I think he's a more dangerous puncher than Miguel Vasquez. Every bit as tough and won't be as awkward. So I think the spectators are going to win. It's going to be a great fight. And the undercard is a sensational undercard fight. Glenn Foote and Jason Easton for the Commonwealth title. Of course, Josh gave up his Commonwealth title to allow Jason to fight for it against Glenn Foote. That could steal the show. That's going to be a great fight. We have got Lee McGregor, who's I'm really excited about. I think he'll be fighting for a British title before the end of the year. He's in an 8-rounder. We're going to really ramp up his opposition on this occasion. We've got Joe Ham and we've got Charlie Flynn, two local guys. Joe is the Scottish Super Bantamweight champion, and Charlie Flynn, a gold medalist in the Commonwealth Games with Josh Taylor in 2014, and was there commentating for Channel 5. And we got Big Martin Bacoli, and we got Ian Trotter, and we also have Chantal Cameron, who is really going to make a big impact this year. We wanted to clean up the lightweight division. She's already won the IBO title, and we're looking to have a series of unification fights at 135 pounds. I believe she's the best lightweight in the world, bar none. We've got Delphine Persoon, who's the WBC champion. We've got Katie Taylor. We've got an Argentinian girl who's the IBF champion and the WBA champion. Both of them, the WBA champion is from Brazil. So we're really looking at all of these and hoping that we can get them across the line. And she'll be certainly making a defence of her IBO title. And we've got Big Martin Bacoli, who is one of the best heavyweights in the world, I believe. One of the brightest young talents, sparring with Big Joshua, sparring with Fury and Big Daniel Dubois, and giving them hell. So he's a great talent, and he's only 26. He's only a baby in the heavyweight division, and they're all on the show, and it's £40, £60, £60, £60 and 125 VIP ringside. So it's a great value for money.
Perfect, and I think you've certainly lived up to your role as a promoter, because you've answered quite a lot of the questions I was going to ask you. But I wanted to get your opinion as a promoter and what you're doing with Josh Taylor at the moment. He's one of the hottest prospects in Britain, maybe even the world at the moment. And I've noticed that you've put him on Edinburgh, Glasgow. The venues are getting bigger every time. Is that something you've actually been planning? Are you trying to kind of raise his profile across Scotland rather than just make him an Edinburgh fighter, as well as bringing up the opponents each time as well?
You've answered your own question, but let me just point one thing out. I'm not a promoter. I'm a manager. My son Blaine is the promoter, and Jake is the matchmaker, and so they have their own segmented positions within the company. I'm front of house. I don't do any of the negotiations except for my own fighters.
Right.
And so they go and do that part of it. But to answer your question, we want Josh to become not just an Edinburgh fighter, but a national hero, and he already is that. And he's one of the most exciting fighters, not just in Great Britain, one of the most exciting fighters in the world. They're all talking about him, all over the place, and so therefore the venue has to suit his persona. It has to suit his notoriety. It has to suit his reputation. So it's more expensive to go to the Hydro, but we're going to put on local fighters. We're going to bring as many of our good fighters from Edinburgh as well. We've got McGregor, we talked about having Jason Easton and big Martin Bacoli, and we're bringing Ian Trotter down as well, and we're using Charlie Flynn, and we're using Joe Ham, and it's going to be a great bill. It's going to be great for everybody, but we want the potential for the guys to get big audiences, and it's obviously live on Channel 5, so it's a big event, but that's what the kid deserves. He deserves that sort of attention because he's that good a fighter.
Yep, and that's definitely the way to do it. Also makes it a bit more special that it's back to the scene of the crime where he picked up the gold medal.
Him and Charlie both won Commonwealth gold medals.
So one more fighter I want to ask you about is young Lee McGregor, because everyone's talking about him. The guys at Fight Talk certainly want to hear me talk to him and hear more about him as well. You picked him up before he got the chance to go to the Commonwealths. You picked him up relatively early. Is he 21 now or 20?
He's just turned 21.
21. And 2 fights in. Where do you see him going this year, and do you plan to fast track him in the same way that you've done Josh Taylor?
Yes, absolutely going to fast. And let me tell you something right now. He will be the British champion by the end of 2018, right? And if I'm not telling you the truth, I will give you, Del, £100.
Well, there's an exclusive on FightTalk.net. I'm doing £100,
and I'm
if
telling
Lee McGregor is not the British champion.
Lee McGregor will be the British champion before the end of the year.
But I will say, I'm still rooting for him to win it, even though I could lose out on £100 there. But